Hello and welcome. Rainy Day Crafting here. Sorry, a big delay. Not been far too busy in life. Sometimes life gets too complicated, doesn't it? Anyway, life's been very busy, but I'm here, and we're still in the sort of the month of autumnal and Halloween and things. So I'm going to do a Halloween card today, and potentially also maybe show you how I make the bags. I'm a great lover. I've got no affiliations with sizzex whatsoever, but I really do like a lot of their gear they have. You know, obviously lots of stuff on the market. I do own a sizzex Big Shot Plus, which I had when I first started crafting. I was going to buy a smaller one at the time, and my hubby, bless him, he said, "Well, actually, why don't you buy the bigger one? Purely because yes." If you've got the smaller one, that's a bit more limiting, which actually makes sense, doesn't it? So I have got that. But since I've started, I mean, we're talking a few years now, I quite recently ended up buying myself a sizzex Big Shot Pro, which basically will take these great big dies, okay, that are 12 by 12. I've already cut some bags out from, because I can put it on here, but the big sizzex die is quite big. But can you see they're 12 by 12? And I don't know how much you can see, but it's basically cuts this out. Yeah, which, okay, if you then take a picture of this or something, you can work out your measurements and you could score it and make it yourself. And you know, you can make boxes, can't you? But they are quite time consuming. But saying that, if you actually love doing that, carry on. But I actually am a great lover of these. Basically, they are sizzex bigz, and obviously these are for the Pro. How I come to buy my Pro, if I'm totally honest, is I actually bid for one of, wasn't this one of these on eBay, won it, didn't realise it was a sizzex Pro. So when it turned up, I thought, oh, it's rather large. So I ended up treating myself, a bit expensive, isn't it, to a sizzex Pro. But one, you know, but that you can run things through so quickly. But anyway, that's that. But I've already done some. I'll show you the bags in a little while. I've already run some through because you can put quite a few bits of card paper and that through and run a few. And then if you keep them flat in, you know, those envelopes, they're just ready to make up when you are ready. So that's not, I mean, I might make the bag up when I've finished the card. But today, where I also want to go, first of all, so I can be drying this, what I'm going to do is do a Halloweeny card, but I want to sort of have that darkness with the moon. I'm using up a lot of sort of my bits and pieces. I collect everything. You know, if you cut out the odd circle, you know, if you want the circle, sometimes you've got the edge left. So I sort of keep them in all different little containers. And yeah, so that's going to be my moon on the card, okay? So, you know, if you haven't got dies to cut that out, a circle around a jam pot, a can of baked beans, whatever. So always use potentially what you've got. But if you've then got things, great. And then another way, when I've cut out, say, you know, the insides of needing, you know, to cut off a card, I tend to keep the edges because I always think they always come in handy for anything. One, if you just want some strips for something, you can colour them and they're there, you know, because obviously they're all the sort of same size. So keep all your bits and pieces, which I know you could say, oh, I start to get a bit trucky, but no. Anyway, what I'm now going to do is use a couple of these. I've got chipped sapphire and prized ribbon. You can either do some card on here or colour it, you know, but if you've got these, great stuff. Remember, you can even almost work out that, you know, you're going to put that there, so you don't even need to do that there. But I would just lightly, I think this is the lighter one of the two. It's really hard to say sometimes. Oh, yes, it is, look. So that's the lighter one of the two. So I'm just going to put it on another piece of, so you should see, and then just with a sort of circular movement, okay, round. I don't know if it's the wrong way around now, but there you go. I'll have to just keep it as it is now. I might just stick to one colour actually, because what I was going to do, and I haven't done, I was planning to do the lighter one and then take it out to being darker, but there you go. This is live, so it's just one of those things. Right. I tend to always try and anyway, you get the gist. You can if you wanted to give an edge, because I quite like an edge to a card, I'm just going to leave it so I'm nearly to the edge, I think, as opposed to right at the edge. I'm going to keep it this same colour. I might actually just put a bit more over the top. I'm trying to do this quickly because I tend to do this in real time. I think I'm clever now. I can put subscribe on, but that's about it. So I'll get there, I'm sure. But I absolutely love doing craft, and I have seriously missed. So I'm making this statement here. So if you are already following me, great. Thank you very much. If you're not following me, push that button. I have not made a Christmas card yet this year, but I'm making a statement on here right now that in November, because that's obviously the good month before the Christmas month, I'm going to make a Christmas card on here. There might be quite quick ones sometimes, for every day of November. Okay, so that's my plan. This is a little bit blotchy, so I might just put obviously you'll find when you start using inks and things, it's all about just getting more confidence in how you spread it. I have that saying, less is more, and I think that's true sometimes. You know, you can build up colour, but if you splodge on too much in one go, it's very sort of hard to sort of work with. Anyway, that's not too bad. In actual fact, it does look a bit mottledy, like the sky. I'm psychic actually, and I'm now looking, there's almost like a design in there, and I'm thinking, oh, don't remember what you're doing your crafting. So anyway, back to the job in hand. So that's that, and I might just give a little bit of this one on here. Yep, because it's a little bit darker, so just to sort of give sort of that mottled effect just a little bit, and giving a bit of sort of depth. Right, anyway, you get the gist. Let's just do it. It's a bit heavy there. It's almost made it purpley there, but then that's the night sky, isn't it? You know, the witchy. Did you know the veil between spirit, etc., is at its thinnest over the Halloween period? But anyway, right, not too bad. Okay, let's put these away, out the way. Lids on, out the way. So the two colours I've used is Chip Sapphire and Prize Ribbon. But like I say, I think these are lovely colours generally as a whole. I've got, I think, 4 sets. I haven't got them all, but then Christmas is coming, isn't it? Anyway, so there we have that. And then literally, I'll just let this dry while I show you something else. Actually, I can really see something in there. I'm going to put that on there because I'm basically doing a witch on a broomstick. Okay, so this is reasonably a quick card. All right, so that will be going there. Now, what I want to show you here, as I said, I've got, I dread to think how many actually. To be fair, sometimes some of them I actually bid and won on eBay, because after certain times, sometimes after Christmas, people then decide to sort of get rid of them, and sometimes you can get them at really good prices. So anyway, this I want to show you is my little witchy woo. But again, these are the sizzex, which this would go through this size, just to show you, to tell you what size it is, so you can put it into perspective. This is sort of 5 by sort of 6-ish. Okay, so that size, and obviously the big square one I did for the bags is 12 by 12. So anyway, these are that, which these I think probably go through those smaller dies. But again, I've got the sizzex Big Shot, which I'm going to show you how easy they are and how wonderful. Yes, you know, you can print things up, cut things out and things like that, but sometimes, and it's not, if you just want to knock up one card, yeah, that's still easy. But if you want to actually get ahead a bit, if you were hypothetically doing a load of cards, I want to show you. I don't know how well you can see. I'll hold this up, you know, but obviously it's that. If I just show you like that, oh, it's the wrong way around actually. It's a mirror image, isn't it? But basically, you know, we've got a hair there, face. But these, if you don't know what they are metal in there. So when you wind it through the machine, it pushes down and cuts it. You can cut card, paper, material, leather. you know, so it will really cut through some good thicknesses. But what I tend to do, I mean, I did a load earlier because I was planning to do this card, not today, but yesterday. You can literally, right, if you sort of predominantly want her as black, you know, the hat and all the bits and pieces, you could just put literally some card, and you could put, you can use paper, obviously, you don't have to use card, you can use material, you would put however quite a few layers you could get away with putting on there. But what I then tend to do, I mean, I've cut out a load earlier, if I just show you these here, but I'm just going to show you also how easy it can be. Yep, so there. So now what I would do, well, I think she could have some green, a green face maybe. So what I would do, and I just using up some out my scraps, maybe orange hair. So what I then do is get that ready. I would, so I know where I'm putting it. That's obviously for the face. Yeah, there's a couple of pieces there. I might even put that across there because I could even pull a hat out as well. You always want to make sure it's in the right place. And you could do the broom in something else. You could use up scraps as well. But it's almost like paper piece on there where they are. I mean, if I show you, I've done some sort of scrappy stuff before where it was like the socks. And you sort of cut them out and then you cut the feet out. Anyway, so then here we've got a couple of bits of card. Then, as far as putting it through, I might as well put that there. I hope it's in the right place. Might not be. So what you then do, all you need is your big shot or whatever you're using, yeah? And then you have your bottom plate. You put this on top. And I think what I want to show you, if you don't know these things, how precision and great it cuts. Okay, so literally, oh, while I'm thinking about it, if you wanted to make a stamp of this, yeah, that would be so easy to do as well. All you would do is put some of your foam. Again, you know those cheap shops, you know, you get when on the kiddies crafting section, a sort of quite thin foam. You could then cut that through there and then literally stick it onto a block, and then you've got your witchy stamp. Do you know what I mean? So that's it. These are so, I just think they're very, very good. And like I say, I have got no affiliations with them. Anyway, so now look at this. Whoops. Look how easy. Let's just get rid of these out of the way. Sometimes with these YouTubes, it's showing you things that you just think, whoa, how easy. Now look, lovely and precisionally cut. Couple of pieces there. Couple of broomsticks. Easy peasy. If I now pull these off here, do you remember we put... Can you see how well? Now, again, you could keep that, and that is, isn't it, a template. Tape it down, and you can do hats and just colour it through. Keep it for the kids, grandkids. I've got my granddaughter, Ivy Woos, and my daughter has come to stay next week, so I shall probably be keeping and getting her doing these sort of things. Anyway, so as far as pushing it out, can you sort of see, again, you've still got scrap. This is just scrap pieces of card. We've got the hats. We've got an orange hat if you want. But what I'm going to say also, I'm now going to use some of these now to show you. Can you see how well they push them out? So you could have a green face and you can build it up a bit like paper piecing if you want. Yeah. So, and then we've got obviously all the different. So obviously you've got your scrappy bits. I will concede they will go in the bin. But can you see how easily you've cut these out? Okay, and here's another one. Look, because we put a few layers, which again, it's all there ready, and the original ones there. But what I want to say then, although yes, I've got all these here now, and I'm only going to use a couple on this particular card, aren't I? What I then do with any of my dies, I've only started, to be fair, I've only recently started doing that. Where I've got this, I'll put this back in here. I used to just put I'll have to show you sometime. What I'll do sometime is use a video and take you round my craft room. It's not massive. I sort of share it with my husband. And as I said, I do work as a psychic as well. So this is my office. If I show you, I've got all my cards and things I use to my left there as well. But anyway, love doing my craft. Absolutely love doing both of them, honest. Anyway, I used to just then keep these with elastic band round and sometimes the original template there. But now what I do, you know, these bags that we then put our cards that we've made in, what I then would do, I would put that in the bag, or a slightly bigger one. I mean, you could use your kitchen bags if you wanted to, something you could see through what you've got. So I would, oops, typically it's not going to, that did fit early. Pop it in there anyway, and then I would slide down all these bits and pieces you cut out that you then don't use in the back. So literally, you could then knock up a card quite quickly if you had to. Anyway, back to the card. So they're the bits I'm scrapping. These, like I say, I would be tempted to keep because, again, they're very good as a template. I do keep, you know, them little envelopes that just have the, like, popper studs on. I do tend to keep templates all in one place. So I shall be putting them in there later. Okay, so that's that. Now back to the card. Like I say, that could have been done with being a bit of glue on the back here. Wouldn't matter which side you use, but I'm going to use and then pop that on there. Something heavy on there while you're waiting for it to dry. Because I do this live, this is now a little bit of sort of putting it together here for you now. One other thing I want to show you, so just while give that just a little while to dry. I'm a great one for keeping all my packaging, different things, because you can cut out lettering. You know, obviously, even sometimes if your boxes have got designs on, depending on the design, it can sort of look more motley when you cut things out, which is great. Anyway, what I wanted to just then say is this Christmas is coming. I bought this a while ago, if I'm honest. Come from that local supermarket, good old Aldi, okay? And it's got the letters. I don't know how well you can see. They're not over big. So if you know, this is the envelope to the card we're talking, just to sort of put it into perspective for size. Okay, so not over big letters. When I was now getting some ready for this, I suddenly thought, I have got a lot of stamps, to be fair. I was thinking, you know, sometimes we have those sayings you use with your friends, your family, your loved one, you know, naughty ones if you want, whatever. But you know, if you want to put a little sentiment of your own wording in, these aren't over huge, are they? So I was thinking, yes, it's a fiddly job, but any of you crafters, if you're like me, the fiddling is quite lovely. And these, I just want to show you, you might have already seen them. So this set, I can't remember what it was. 12, 13, 14 pound, I think, maybe, from Aldi. Not totally sure. But obviously it's got this little gun. And where I've now done the lettering, obviously you could, if you then wanted to, just say you wanted to do a sentiment with whatever, work out, write it down, how many letters of each, etc. And then look how quickly, so this has got a B in for boo. Look how quickly you can just pop, I just want to explain how they go in. You just pop your letter in really easy. So it's the way up. Pop it in there, and then literally, oh no, some of them probably didn't do so well. So you could get yourself a lot of letterings, and it's really hard to know. I wouldn't recommend necessarily doing lots of lettering unless you always want to say write in black or something like that, because you know you could end up having, unless you want to do a rainbow effect. But then I'm going to put boo on the card. Now there, so great little tool. I mean, there's lots of things on the market. I did laugh to my husband, which I think he laughed at me, actually, because I love Craft Stash as a company. And they're clever as far as I'm concerned. But there you go. That's good tactics. They have a deal of the day every day. I think it's even weekends as well. And often it really is a good deal. Well, if I don't look, my husband says, oh, have you seen what's on there today? That does encourage you to keep making little orders. But anyway, brilliant little tool. So like I say, can you sort of see there on that as just best wishes, so you can make up Christmas tags. You know, it's a really good little tool. And like I was saying, grandchildren and things that come round, I should probably be sitting doing some things with her next week because she loves it. I've got her sewing as well. Although I'm calling this rainy day crafting, I've called it rainy day crafting because although I'm doing mainly cards at the moment, I plan to do lots of other things. So much in my head, I tell you. Anyway, right, remember, if I keep the picture of this so you know what we're working with roughly. So here we go, easy peasy. Because it's going to be a quick card, I think, because I've sort of been chatting to you quite a bit as well, so I don't want it to be that it goes on and on and on and on. So I might do it all in black. Now look at that already, start of a card. That's the basis of that. Then we could literally oh no, maybe give it a bit of color. Look at that. No, I actually might keep her all in black. Or should we? Could have some, or maybe just to give it an extra bit of colour, let's just cut this down, bit of glue on the back, which I would recommend if you were then doing this, glue all the different bits together and let it dry, then put the card together. Okay, so literally here we have, there's an extra bit on there for some reason. Five-second rule, hold it down. So that's there. And what I think I will literally, apart from her, yeah, I'm going to just leave her with her tights. But then this you would just hook through. And do you know what I might do actually? Because I just think it'd make it look a little bit more. I'm going to raise her up with a foo. So with this, if I turn it over, just stuck in there. Few of these. I'll try and put that on there so you can't see it. I think I haven't got any, but I gather you can buy these. Go over the eyes because it doesn't matter if it show through white, does it? Don't like. There we go. Right. So now. Don't know what happened to that. That just came off. 1, 2. Right, so she's against. You could even do it so it raise up a bit higher if you wanted to. I did put one on here, but that fell out, didn't it? It's sticky on my hand. So there we have quite an easy card, and I was just going to pop the letters on, don't know where to put them really, just boo on like that. So a little bit of glue, put boo on her, Obviously, you can be more elaborate and do a lot more, but I just thinking, because I was doing it as, like, so as if she's whizzing past the moon, you'd get that sort of moon-like look, wouldn't you? So there's the O's in this set. I sort of thought, oh, no, which way up? I think I'm putting the right way up, because you just never know if you're getting it quite right, do you? Oh, doesn't want to stick. Could do bigger letters. I'll show you a card I did make earlier. And then if I've got, well, I probably have got time. If you're still watching, I hope you are. If you haven't, push that button, subscribe. Like I say, I've been a little bit slack recently. I'm only a recent YouTuber, so sort of bear with me. But I absolutely love doing it. I do try and give you lots of tips too. So like I say, this sizzex stuff, honestly, I think is great. You know, it's an, you know, and if you sort of use it a few times, it's paid for itself. I wouldn't recommend getting everything on the market because, you know, crafting, but you can adapt lots of things. Remember what I said about if you wanted to then do stamping, because you could make up some paper, couldn't you, to wrap things up in. You could do it on your bags, and you literally do that through foam. Only put it through once, don't go backwards and forwards and nothing, because that could stretch it. But generally then put it onto one of these or something, and then you can stamp all over some paper, you know, a big sheet of paper if you so want. And again, it saves money. And back to the bags, I'm now going to show you. Right, let's just put this to one side, and I'll just show you this other thing I was planning to do. Again, I've gone a bit on the purpley theme. That was that bag, if you remember, I'd done from my Pro. Yep, so the handles and the little bag. Like I say, if you look, you can probably find ways to just score and do it. This is double-sided. It's really quite lovely, isn't it? But the best way forward is to score or fold on all the score lines to start with. If you wanted to, like I said earlier, you can then have a load of these ready and made up. So then you just got to, if you keep them in those plastic containers, they are literally ready. So can you sort of see where all the creases are? Just crease them. I've got one of these which probably pays to use at times, so you literally go on all the creases and then just, so it gives a real precise, I think we're fairly, all the creases done. Sometimes a good nip. You can do this in, like, for paper bags. So I mean, the reason I'm now showing you this as much as anything is because we've literally got Halloween. Just so you've got any trick-or-treaters coming, you could always make a few bags, and in case you get somebody turn up at your door. So I think I'm nearly there, and literally all you do is stick that together like there. Okay, and before I stick it together, but I don't want to run out of time, before I stick it together, I would actually then put my bits and pieces on there. Okay, so if we were now going to be doing something like this, I would stick them all on together and then pop it together, because, you know, I mean, it would stick on all right, but you just think you can really make sure that you glue it, put some weight on it. So like I say, if they're all sort of ready for making, you know, all you know, done through the machine, they're all there. And as far as these are really quite easy too, as to how the handles, and then you can Can you sort of see? Can you see how that's that stick, and then literally like that and like that. I would then stick them together, okay, and on your bag. So very easily done. I haven't got a bag, she says, with this things on, but if I just show you one I did earlier in some other material, other card, can you see that's the size bag it works out. So if you were then putting, you know, your things on there, you could then put it on afterwards. So that's another bag, okay. So and what else do I want to show you before I go? So you got the gist of it, where we're going, and I want to show you, oh yeah, there was another card that I had made earlier, very much in pinks. Okay, so hope you like. Thank you very much.